Well, folks, we've got a great call lined up. This young lady, our guest speaker today, I'm kind of excited about. Beautiful flyer, beautiful lady, beautiful smile. Repurpose and reapproach is her conversation on our flyer, which I love. She's been a business owner for locksmith business for 8 years, wanted more for her life. And she saw ACN, got started. She says, I'm going to run right past RD to RVP. She's just going to make a pit stop there. She lives in the beautiful part of the world, San Antonio, Texas. That's right. One of my favorite talks that she did was March the 31st. She talked about mental shift. Oh my God, I'm still getting blessed on that. Your time is now. And man, I remember that's still permeating in my spirit. So I can't wait to hear what she's going to say today. Without further ado, from San Antonio, Texas, the great Miss Roxann Corralejo.
Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. I am so happy to see your smiling face again. I'm so happy to be on this call, and I want to give a huge thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to speak to everybody, to share my story, to grow, to develop, not only as a speaker, as a leader. Everything that this call is made for has helped me develop so much, and I know it's not only myself, but every speaker on this call that you allow to speak, share their stories, their experiences, help people grow as well. You are truly blessing us with the ability to succeed. And something like that is only a phenomenal leader can do and can reproduce over and over again. So thank you so much for all that you do. I appreciate you more than you know, and I know countless people on this call do as well. So good morning, everybody. We have some work going on outside. Hopefully you can't hear them too well, but there's a lot of noise out there going on. But I'm loud too, so it's okay. Hopefully you can hear me over all that. So our topic today is going to be receive, repurpose, reproduce. Same thing that we talked about last week. Now, last week we talked about what these things are. How do you receive? How do we reproduce? How do we repurpose the information? Today, I want to talk about who you are being. That's one of the most important things when we're receiving this information. Who are you being? We talked a little bit about that last week. But who are you being when you're listening to these trainings? Who are you being? Are you taking notes? Who are you being when you listen to these motivational speaks? Do they pump you up for that moment? And when the call's done, you close down your computer and you're like, all right, now what am I going to do with my day? Who are you being when you receive? I'm at the gym the other day. And this is so important because I was thinking about this as I'm on the treadmill. I'm super excited. But are you receiving this information the way you receive your favorite song in the whole world? What is your favorite song? I know you can think about it right now. I know some of y'all are probably singing it in your head right now. Your favorite song. We've heard it for years and years and years. We know every single line, every single word. We feel every moment of that song. Sometimes we get sad if it's a sad song. We get pumped if it's a song that pumps us up. Are we listening to these trainings? Are we receiving this information, whether it's here or anywhere else that you're listening to? Are you receiving that the same way? So I'm at the gym last week and I'm on the treadmill. We're in the circuit training. We got 15 minutes left. It's my third circuit and I'm exhausted. I can't even think. All I keep thinking about is don't fall off this treadmill. I'm pushing, don't fall off this treadmill. I got this. Nothing can go through my brain. Have you ever worked out and been that exhausted that you can't even think? Someone asks you a question and you're like, hold on. What's my name again? I know I have. You work out so hard mentally, it's just not there. But then all of a sudden I'm pushing through and then my song comes on. I swear you guys, I'm asking the front desk if they stole my phone and went through my playlist. They saw me struggling and said, Roxann needs a bump. Let's play her playlist. So I'm on this treadmill. Shoot comes on. That is my song, Salt and Pepper Shoot. I'm a little bit older. I love that song. And man, I'm getting into it. I'm pushing through on this treadmill. I am mouthing every single word of this song because I know it by heart. I cannot think. But guess what? It is just something that's instilled in me. I don't even have to think. I can't remember my name, but yeah, I can remember every single word of this song. And I'm on this treadmill pushing as hard as I can. And a few times my arms go up in the air and I'm excited. I'm pumped and I'm still running. And I get a couple snaps in there. I want to shoot, baby. And I'm going and I'm pushing through. And that trainer is on the mic and she says, get it, girl. Roxann's in it. Keep pushing. We got 30 seconds left. These songs are helping me push through what I have to do. Are you listening to these trainings that same way? Who are you being when you're receiving this information? Do you have Les Brown on repeat? Are you listening to Grant Cardone or anybody that you seek information from? Are you listening to Byron Nelson over and over and over and over again? Can you repeat every word Mr. L. Thomas says? Are you receiving this information the same way you receive those words, those lyrics of your favorite song? Who are you being? If you're not being that, you're not really fully taking it in. Are you taking notes? Are you putting it on repeat? Who are you being? Now, as we're receiving this information, you can say, yes, I know all these words. I can recite them. I can repeat them. I can be on this training call right now and say every single word to one of my favorite, most motivational or biggest training I've ever heard. That is fantastic. But what are you doing with that information? After you receive it, what happens? It has to be repurposed. Now, are we repurposing that information? And if we are, who are you being as you do that, as you put this stuff into action? Now, some people can say, you know what? I listened to it. I put in the work. When we say repurpose, it's about putting in the work. People think work is getting on these calls or updating your website or looking at your numbers or something like that. That is not work. Nothing in life is free. Nothing comes free. We have to put in the work. We have to pay that price. We have to do something. And sometimes people might say, I am doing something. I'm doing this work. And you know what? I listen every day. I'm being consistent. I'm making 10 peaks a day, every single day for the past year. 10 peaks a day, every single day for the past 5 years. I'm doing presentations. I'm going to these events. I'm doing it over and over and over and over and over again. I'm being consistent. When is it my time? When am I going to shine? Is that who you're being? Or are you being someone more? Are you being extra? Are you going out there? Nothing in life is free. Those steps, those movements got you to that position you are now. That's fantastic. We had some executive team leader promotions last week. Woohoo! We had some regional coordinator positions last week, promotions. Let's go. Regional directors. I know there were regional directors promoted last week. That is phenomenal. But that is last week's results. Today is Monday. It is a brand new week. It is Motivational Monday. What are you doing today that you didn't do yesterday? You hit that position yesterday. Today, you have to do more. It said you have to do 4 times more today to break through the results you had from yesterday. Those were yesterday's results. Don't make yesterday's results today's goals. We have to push through. We have to put in the work. We have to fight. Who are you being? Are you being that same person you were yesterday? I hope not. I hope we're pushing through. I hope you're not that person saying, you know what, I put in the work. I'm going to have that big customer land in my lap. We hear those stories. We have 150 apartment complexes with 150 units that just lands in someone's lap. But guess what? It didn't land in their lap. They have this rep that's just phenomenal. They go out there and they recruit 100 people within 2 days. Holy cow. I'm waiting for that person. I'm waiting for them to fall in my lap the same way it fell in their person's lap. And guess what? It didn't. I'm going to burst every single bubble if that's what you're thinking. I'm going to throw your ice cream on the floor. I'm going to break your hearts if you're thinking that's going to happen, because it's not. Nothing is free. We have to put in the work. We have to work harder today than we did yesterday. Are you putting in the work? Are you going into overtime? Are you pushing yourself? Repurposing isn't who we bring onto our team. It isn't what's going on around us. It's you. To repurpose that information is all up to you. So what are you doing? What are you doing to make those next steps? How are we growing? And you know what? One thing that's really transitioned myself is knowing that as we grow, we grow as a team. We talk about that all the time. But as you grow personally, as you grow your own results, you do that 100% yourself. And I talked about this on my regional director run, is I had to do this myself. I had to sit down. I had to put in the work. If you are still in that same position you are a year ago and you're waiting for your time, I'm trying to tell you that it's not going to come unless you go above and beyond, because waiting and sitting there, that's average. Average is great. Doing that same work over and over and over, it's consistency. It's average work, which is okay. Average is having that income that It's getting us through our day. It's paying our bills, but it's not going out and being able to take those trips we want to take, being able to do those things we want to do. We want to have that above average income. We don't want to be average for our friends and our family and say, hey, you know what? I want to be able to give my family more than what they think I can, more than they deserve, more than I could have ever imagined. That's above average. It's okay to be average. But I want to tell you, you are not average. You are meant for so much more. Let's stop doing the mundane things over and over and over and over again and triple that, quadruple that, 10 times that. Because I want to tell you, Douglas Soto is right now listening to this in an airport. Douglas, you are not average. You are meant for more. Everybody on this call, Pat Robinson, you are meant for more. You are not average. Sam Foster, we already know and hear from him all the time. This gentleman is not an average gentleman. Absolutely not. You are meant for more. Stop being average. Go out there. Everybody on this call is blessed with so much more. We believe it. We need you to believe it. Go out there, put in the work. It's not free. Go out there and get it. Now, the third part of this, so we're talking about, okay, so we're putting in the work. We receive this information. I can recite everything. I learn it. I love it. I study this material. I put it to work. I am working harder every single day. I am moving. I am putting more. People from yesterday can't recognize me from today. The same relationships I had yesterday are not the same relationships I have today. I am leveling up. I have had that breakthrough. Now it's time to not be alone. We worked on ourselves. We've grown. Now it's time to reproduce. Now it's time to grow. Who are we being when we reproduce? Who are you being? Who is that leader you want to be? We always think about it. Are we sitting here waiting for our reps to call us? Who is that leader that you're being? Are you listening to some of the struggles that they're having? Are you truly listening? Or are you interrupting and trying to fix things? I see this a lot in management. And sometimes I see it as people, leaders in ACN as well, is that we're trying to fix things. Hey, this is all you got to do. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. But sometimes pounding something into someone that works for us isn't going to help for them. Are we truly being that leader that our team needs? So there's a story that I absolutely love, and I've told so many people independently, but it goes back to the leader on this call, Mr. Al Thomas. So we're in Lake Tahoe, and it's phenomenal. It's so great. We get to see all these people. And you know what? There are some people, I'm not going to call them out by name, but you know who you are. But there are some people that show up that first morning late. Why do they show up late? Because they already heard the material. They wanted to sleep in. Maybe they did something the night before. Whatever it is, they're strolling in. Their team's there with a pen in hand ready. But some leaders are strolling in late because they've already been there. They've already done that. You don't want to be like that person. But one thing I do want to say is we did come in late. Al Thomas, Sam Foster, a whole bunch of people, myself, we came in late. We were running this call. I was so thankful to be a speaker on that call. The numbers were low and I loved it. I'm like, man, I can really get at it with just a handful of people on this call, because a handful of people were in Lake Tahoe as well. So as a handful of us, we do the training. It goes through. I try to cut it short so that we can get our way over to the event and not create this scene as we're walking in and we're trying to sneak in through the back. And so I am 4'11", y'all. I am 5'2" in high heels. I walk slow. I am at 0 elevation here in San Antonio. So you take me up to South Lake Tahoe, you would swear I never walked a step in my life. I am huffing and puffing. I am breathing. I'm moving so slow. And then this team that's with Mr. Thomas, man, I swear these guys are all 8 feet tall. So you see little bitty me, and I'm like, go ahead, y'all. I'll catch up eventually. And Mr. Thomas says, no, this is your show. We are with Roxann. You are our leader. This is your show. We're behind you. So here's me leading this group of huge men behind little old me walking as slow. I swear they could have crawled faster. But we're walking through this casino, going to the event. And he makes it a point and says, no, Roxann is going to be the first person to walk through that door. She's the star. She's the person they're going to see. And I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, is this so awesome? I've never been treated that way. That is so great. That is a phenomenal leader. Why? Because he's reproducing. He doesn't have to be the star of the show. He doesn't want to be the star of the show. He said, you know what? I did it. I've done it. I want to produce other people. And he's shaking his head no, because he knows it. You had someone walking inside that was walking a little bit faster. They couldn't keep at my pace. And Mr. Thomas said, hey, slow down. This is Roxann's show. She's going to be ahead of the group. So everyone's struggling to kind of keep at my pace, and I'm trying. We go through that door, and then sure enough, as we're walking through, we're being as quiet as possible, trying to find our seats. And who is recognized? Mr. Al Thomas, of course. We got Senior Vice President, phenomenal leader, Mr. Al Thomas. And I knew that was going to happen, but he made me feel so special that said, you are going to be the first person to walk through that door. Now, short as I am, people looked over me. They probably didn't even know I was there, but that is okay. Who is that leader you are being? Are you empowering your people? Do you have to be that star of the show? Do you have to be the person that closes every single presentation? I hope not. Do you have to be that person on the stage? I am so happy to sit back and watch people do it. I really am. It's mainly because I hate being in front of the room. But it develops phenomenal leaders. When they are too scared or too nervous to do it, you're there to support them. You got this. Every single time I'm going on stage or I'm trying to do something, I'm freaking out, I get one of those calls that says, you got this. You're going to do this. Because I have people in my life that says, hey, you run the show. You're great. You have this, even though I don't have that confidence in myself. Are you being that leader? Are you being that person that the people in your life need? Whether it's someone to listen to, whether it's just an ear, whether it's just someone for them to take their struggles out on because mom swears she's never going to sign up for electricity. That's okay. Sometimes just be the ear. Are you going to be that person that motivates them every single time? And they're like, you know what? I'm just so exhausted. I can't pull out of bed today. Here's something you got to listen to. Let's get up. Let's get to work. Get your butt out of bed. We're doing this together. Who is that leader that you are? Who are you being when we receive this information? Who are you being when we repurpose this information? Who are you being when we reproduce this information? Think long and hard about it. This is something that's not going to change overnight. This is something you're going to have to work on yourself, because we're changing ourselves to be that leader, to be that person that people want to follow, to attract. We are working every single day on it. And how are we working on it? We're learning from phenomenal leaders that we have on this call. We're learning from phenomenal Google leaders. Listen to people every single day. Don't stick with the same person, because guess what? You're going to become that person. I want to tell you that you are your own person. You have your own strengths. You have your own weaknesses. You are not average. You are meant for more. I want you to go out there, find that leader that you are meant to be, find that success that you are meant to have. Don't be average. Go out there and go get it. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. I was so excited to deliver this information today, just because of the fact that that is what I'm feeling today. I'm feeling this because I have people in my life that have been pushing me up, that have been elevating me. And I hope I have been there to elevate you guys that same way.